Vanakkam Chennai, formerly known as Madras, it is the biggest city and the capital of Tamil Nadu. Known as a gateway to the south, Chennai has some iconic landmark buildings and temples dating back to the Britishers. Chennai is now home to some of the biggest names in Kollywood, derived from Kodambakkam, where most of the Tamil film studios are located. It is also home to some of the finest sporting superstars and sports franchise. Chennai boasts of some of the best sporting infrastructure, and the TNGF Cosmo Golf Club is an address that every golf lover in the country want to play in. Located in the heart of city, TNGF Cosmo Golf Club is now playing host to the 1 crore rupee Chennai Open 2025, powered by CPCL. After overnight rains and bad light forced round 2 to be extended into Thursday, 57 players made the cut. Gurugram's Manu Gandas was placed third at 10 under 134. Delhi's Shaurya Bhattacharya, who was tied fourth after round 1, being 4 shots off the lead, produced a 65 on day 2 to be placed second at 12 under 132. It was Akshay Sharma of Chandigarh who maintained his lead with a solid 4 under 68 on day 2. Akshay, who enjoyed a 3-shot lead after round 1, retained his place at the top of the pack after reaching a total of 13 under 131 on day 2. All eyes will be now on Akshay to increase his slender lead and his chances of breaking his title drought.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Chennai Open. So the third round action right here, Cosmo, of course, TNGF. I'm Vibhor Chowdhury Singh, joined alongside Mr. Ashwin and Mr. Swami. Our leader in the clubhouse at this point in time is Akshay Sharma and a score of 14 under par, followed by Soya and Naraja Manu Gandas. Par. Been stellar week thus far. We've seen lots of birdies, the cut being applied at one second half of the season. The action is really warming up here.
Welcome everybody. Outstanding competitive tournament here. The Chennai Open, powered by CPCL, being played at the TNGF Cosmo Golf Course in Chennai. Akshay Sharma is ruling the roost. He got a 9 under in the opening round, followed by a 5 under. Now he's sitting here with, he's dropped a shot today, just the third in 43 holes. Started with 2 back-to-back birdies, sitting at top the leaderboard with 14 under. 3 gentlemen tied second at 13 under, Vinny Soya and Tangaraja, and the defending champion, Manu Gandas.
Yeah, season campaign, winner on tour. And both very good around. They were left to right, ball flight. Favorite are. That's us, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and rather good afternoon. We've had slight rain delay on the first 2 days, and we've had the second finish. Videos have been pushed accordingly.
Beautifully manicured TNGF Cosmo Golf Club golf course. Very challenging facility. It has a little river running through it called Poor. And one has to play calculated and percentage golf. Yeah. You would know better than anyone else, Joey.
And the golf was but the struggles really start around difficult in terms of boundary between the three venues. Let's can.
Jay has dropped just 3 shots in 43 holes, as mentioned earlier. going broke. What do you think his mindset will be right now, Shaurya? Will he try to open up a massive lead so it's easier for him to final round, or will he play it safe?
Open. Just a minute, please. My apologies. I had to correct the error by not the okay. Yes. But I think let's soon begin to bring the kind of form. Yeah. I think he will definitely be doing very good player and to drive it. That's all the ingredients that are required in order to secure the
Competitive. Manu Gandhar, Shaurya Bhattacharya, and Akshay Sharma in the final group of the day.
Have you ventured to this golf course yet?
Very much. I've conducted about 8 tournaments here. Started in 1998, one every year, all the way up to 2010.
It's reminiscent of BPGC in that down Greens.
Funny thing is, I've never seen a Bombay golf course.
And you change that has happened over the last few years. It's fashion shows. It's the human conditions that we can have. So,
The relatively wide fairways, but as the tournament progresses into the money-making round, spin positions are usually tighter than usual. As you see, that's the leaderboard there. Akshay Sharma, 14 under, sitting with 3 gentlemen tied second at 13 under. Hanibhai Soya, N. Tangaraja, and Babu Kandas, who is incidentally the defending champion. Akshay's best effort this year has been an 8th place finish. He has made, he's had 3 top 10 finishes and made 8 cuts in 12 appearances. This is his 13th.
sometimes you do save the best for last. Let's see how these players do over the last 2 days. We talk about being in your A game and being on a B game. Seems like I'm definitely on my B game. I'm flustered and confused between Akshay and Arjun there. Of course, Akshay this win. And it's yet to get the victory, but has had a couple of rounds. So my apologies to both these players. Another day, so it's definitely moving day, and this golf course is going to offer quite a few opportunities. Going to Bangalore, had a conversation with a few players. Bafa is a game in and it's going to be kind of a birdie fest.
It seems to be because day one there were nearly 40 players who broke par. So that goes to show that it's relatively, one can't say easy, but the initial 2 rounds would have been provided a great opportunity for players to score. But how is it going to pan out the next 2 rounds? Something
Jamal Hussain, all set to execute his putt. Jamal finished year 2024 with a win at the Big Boy, at Big Boy, and he's presently yet to register a win in 16 outings in 2025, but he's always there and thereabouts.
Yeah, he's a good example of a player who's maximized most of his capabilities, not the longest of the day, an average hitter, and rather diminutive as far as the physical stature, but of course a giant of the game in many respects. Very good around the greens and very well sewn game, balanced, and can be devilish with the putter, especially when he's on song. The professional golf tour of India has a unique international flavor. We have players from all over the world apply their trade here, and the tour is going from strength to strength.
Meanwhile, today, Honey by Soya is on fire. He's got 6 birdies already after 10 holes. He's birdied the 10th as well. He is now sidled up to just one shot behind the leader, Akshay Sharma, at 14 under. Akshay leads the field at 15 under, himself having carded 3 birdies and dropped a shot on the 5th. Prior to this, Akshay dropped a shot on the 6th and the 8th on day 2. And ironically, the 6th is the stroke index 1 on the course. How hard is this hole? Do you recollect it, Shaurya?
Yeah, this is a fairly straightforward. You talk about the hole number 6, right?
Correct.
This is one that the players have struggled with. Longer hole. And we have a look at Mari Muthu R. Strong hitter of the team.
The one man who is struggling to find his feet today is Shaurya Bhattacharya. He's dropped a shot on the 3rd, and it's surrounded by a sea of pars. He's yet to birdie a hole. Now that's pushed him down to the sole 5th place. He was tied 2nd, if you remember, after day 2.
Good player, Shaurya Bhattacharya, youngster, and has a lot of game. Hits the ball far. Is one of the modern breed of golfers that we have a look at. And Thangaraj. Likes to favor a left-hand field. You can see that grip with the left hand a little weak. That's the choice of flight for the stronger player, the left-to-right flight.
It's found the right rough. I'm sure he can manage to get out of that. The fact that the leaderboard keeps is volatile, so to speak. It's not constant. Goes to show the level of competitiveness in this field. Nobody can take anything for granted. Even the leader here, Akshay Sharma, has 3 people breathing down his neck. One shot behind and two shots behind him. So you can't take anything for granted. He's not even made the turn yet. He's finished 8 holes. So it's exciting times for golf lovers in Chennai.
Yeah, no doubt. Quality of golf is top notch.
Whole list of sponsors, as you can see on the first tee. Indian golf has got tremendous support from the corporate world, and why should it not? It's a great game. The quality of golf here is outstanding. Players are talented, and as you've seen, India has had a representative and a winner on every tour in the world.
Yeah, we just had a look at Anand Singh and his shot. Now we have a look at Tapendra Ghai. Also called Tappy Ghai. Cool nickname. We have a look at him good with 3 wood in. also winner on tour. Played his golf out of Gurugram.
Well executed tee shot. Tappy guy is trotting along to execute his second shot. Tapendra Guy, as Shaurya just mentioned, age 29, and a member of the prestigious DLF Golf and Country Club, a very difficult golf course to hone your skills on, but very challenging and a world-class golf course. He turned pro in 2017. He's made a mark for himself thereafter. Practice makes perfect. And here they go. Whole bunch of golfers honing their putting skills before they take to the golf course.
Yeah, as the saying goes, practice makes perfect. Somebody who's really on the rise is Arjun Prasad, a young man with a good head on his shoulders, and also has a good long game, and that of course helps in the modern era of golf. You need to be good off the tee and good control on the irons, and then the sky is the limit. The professional golf tour itself going from strength to strength, and you're seeing a lot of good crop of younger players come out.
We already have 5 eagles peppering the scoreboard today. So attack is the best form of defense, and the golfers are going for gold. Meanwhile, Akshay Sharma is heading on to the 9th hole. He has 3 birdies and a drop shot against his name, 15 under for the tournament. Started with a brilliant 9 under on the opening day, 63. It's a par 72 course. And followed it up with a 68 on day 2. Putting styles differ. Everyone has his own way of addressing the ball on the green. Doesn't always work, but then it's all about how comfortable you are. You got to spend hours on the putting green to be able to execute a successful putt or a series of successful putts in competition. And you can never take anything for granted in golf, as you can't in any other sport. Practice, practice, and practice again.
Yeah, so true. You're coming up with the hard facts, and the players who've actually learned that have been some of the few who've unfortunately not been able to make the cut in this tournament, which was applied at 1 over. We had quite a few good players missing the cut by a solitary shot. Aniket Sawant missing it by a shot. Then you also have Federico Zucchetti missing the cut by 3 shots. MD Akbar Hussain also missing the cut by 4 shots. Pranav Madikar, also a seasoned campaigner, missing the cut. Manav Bias, surprisingly, also missing the cut. So you've seen that on the Professional Golf Tour of India, the cuts are normally applied somewhere in the vicinity of 1 under par to about 2 over par, depending on the degree of difficulty of the golf course. And this golf course has a little bit of both, as we have a look at N. Thangaraja. Teed off at hole number 10, the reachable par for only 267 yards. And it was pretty close to being an eagle there. So, for those of you joining us, we'd like to tell you we're live at the Chennai Open powered by CPCL, being played at the TNGF Cosmo Golf Course here in the heart of Chennai. This tournament offers a prize fund of rupees 1 crore, and currently leading the tournament is Akshay Sharma by a solitary shot over Hani Besoya.
What's also interesting to see is someone like Mukesh Kumar, who once dominated golf in India, and he's won countless tournaments at this very course, the TNGF Cosmo Golf Course. Mukesh is now sitting tied 42nd. Such are the vagaries of golf. He started with a round of 70, followed it up with an even par 72, and he's playing to par today. I'm sorry, he's not. He's playing to 2 over today. He's already dropped 3 shots. Does Mukesh Kumar? It's interesting.
Yeah, he's rather ageless, is Mukesh. Golf is sometimes referred to as the old man's game. Of course, I take umbrage to that statement, but it is, of course, if you're old and if you're fit, then you can still make the magic happen.
So true. Fitness is key to golf today. You see all these young golfers training like Olympic athletes before competition. As I was mentioning, fitness is key to success in any sport today, and golf is no exception. Equipment is another thing that's changed the face of the sport, and therefore golf courses have started playing shorter because of advancement in equipment, and therefore they're being remodeled, and everything is changing in the game at a rapid pace.
Yes, that's why you've heard the talk about the golf ball being rolled back. I'm not quite certain which way I see that. Maybe that's a change that is required. Some of the golfers are really hitting the ball far, and what that does is, makes the old Parkland-style golf courses obsolete. So you require another line of defense, such as the tiger proofing process that was done years ago. As we have a look at Tappy here. You can see that pronounced crabgrass around the greens. If the club gets stuck, you're not quite certain which way the grain grows, and makes chipping rather difficult. But if we just speak of yardages alone, this golf course really doesn't offer much of a challenge. Only 6,225 yards. Probably the shortest golf course that the players play the entire year, but is challenging. You've seen some holes like hole number 5 have the outer bounds flanking it. The 6th is a long par 4, 428. A lot of players go up with the rescue of the tee. So 5th as well, 452. So it's rather unique the way this golf course is set up. The par 5s are very amenable. You start off with 2, which you can easily get there with a driver, then a long iron for mid-range hitters as well. So offers up a lot of opportunities, and even the 18th only 481 yards. So rather interesting setup this week. Oh, that's a really nice putt right there. So Thanga would move on. He would move to 14 under par. A solitary stroke behind Akshay Sharma.
Hole number 10. And that one finds the heart of the cup. Talking about Tappy Guy, he's not had a great outing today. He started with 68 in the opening round and mirrored his effort the following day with another 68. But his third round has commenced with a drop shot, 4 pars, and then a bogey, double bogey, birdie, bogey, combination has pushed him to the tied 18th place at 4 under for the tournament. Of course, these are early days. He's got a round and a half to go. And Tapikai can certainly improve his score. And who knows, he may catch up with the leader group too. Golf is a funny game.
Now in the commentary booth, we'll have the seasoned Mr. Swami. And we'll learn about his latest travels and also his take on the tournament thus far. It has been a continuation from the weeks past. It is a scoring week with the players already reaching 15 under par, the leader. So what's your take, Mr. Swami? We're in for a feast of birdies again.
उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन. इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं.
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. थकान वाली प्यास के लिए.
Thank you, Shaurya. So nice to be back in the commentary booth. And it's quite exciting out here in Hani Basoya. You know, the man who's actually not won for a few years, but always knocking at the door. I think he's won about 6 or 7 times on the PGTI Tour. And today it looks like he's going to give it another big shot, you know. He's already something like about 6 or 7 under. 6 birdies in the first 10 holes. And he's really giving Akshay Sharma some big worries or big concerns. And Akshay has not really helped his cause by dropping 2 shots. Thangaraja has been quite fine, 5 under in 6 birdies and 1 bogey. But the guys out there, and here it is, Manu Gandas. Manu Gandas, 4 birdies in the front line. So it's actually going to be pretty close there, even though Akshay Sharma started the day, or rather started the round in sole lead at 14 under. And that's 13 under, and he is now at 14 under. But I think the man to really watch out would be Hani Basoya and Thangaraja, 2 experienced hands.
Yeah, and also gives an opportunity for Arjun to cut that lead over Yuvraj for Arjun Prasad, as Yuvraj not playing here this week. As you have a look at Akshay, very looking resplendent in that rather funky t-shirt. And also looking to end that winless streak. It's been almost 5 years. And if that is his ball, that is indeed a perfect shot and opportunity for an eagle. Probably one of the shortest par 4s that I can recollect, at 267 yards. I see many of the longer hitters would only be going with the 3-wood. Finding the front right bunker there. So, Mr. Swami, what's your take this week? Being rather unique in the way that this golf course is not really offered too much in terms of degree of difficulty as far as length is concerned.
But don't tell that to Anand Singh Halawat, who had a hole-in-one in the second round. He's having a nightmare of a day, dropping shots all over the place. And I mean, it's really been tough for him. He has had 44, that is 8 over, or rather 7 over on the front line, 7 over. So that's been tough for him. And here is Arjun Prasad. A string of top tens he's had this season. And looks like another one is coming. And I'm sure he's relishing this one because, as Shaurya was just mentioning, a good finish here would help him cut the lead, or rather reduce the gap between him and the order of merit leader Yuvraj Sandhu, who's playing on the Asian Tour this week. Here is Arjun, very, very consistent. He's made a lot of adjustments to his game, his life, where he stays, moved much closer to the DLF golf course to be able to practice much more. And he's really giving it all. His parents don't stay too far in Delhi itself, in the NCR, but he's decided to move out so that he can focus completely on his game, and it has paid rich dividends this year.
Yeah, these are the things that you need to do if you have to effectuate your way to success. And I think he's halfway there, doing really well. Has stiff competition this week, though. Hani Besoya, also a really good player who we see on our screens. And that one has gone a begging. A little bit of surprise there. A few words about this tournament. The Chennai Open 2025, powered by Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited, is the 17th event of the 2025 PGTI season. The Chennai Open returns to its 4th edition on the PGTI schedule after 3 years. The tournament carries a prize fund of 1 CR, which is the highest prize fund offered for an event in Chennai. So definitely another cap in this tournament's feather. Or the other way around, a feather in the tournament's cap. The par for the course is 72. And the course is situated in the heart of the city, spread over 90 acres, and was inaugurated in 1938 and was later redesigned by the legendary golfer Peter Thomson.
Indeed, of course, Peter Thomson has done a lot of golf courses in India. Of course, the legendary 5-time winner of the Indian Open trophy with him, just to show it to all the people who had gathered for that function. And between him and his wife, they're really great Indophiles and have contributed. So, and of course, this course also redone a fair bit by Peter. Manu Gandas
playing alongside Shaurya Bhattacharya and Akshay Sharma. That ball seemed to have been plugged. You could see that the way that he was trying to extricate it from there, rather steep swing, and sort of deadened the hands right at impact. So let's see how Akshay does on this one. He's a really good proponent of the short game. And unfortunately, he also comes up short from this one. So paying that pin position a little bit too much respect, it seems. As far as the scores are concerned, currently we have a total of 47 players at even par or better. So shows you that this golf course is there for the taking.
"47 players under par. That's terrific scoring. But there's a traffic jam right at the top with 4 players at 14 under. I mean, I suppose it's indicative of how our cities and golf courses are now in terms of competition. A complete traffic jam. 4 players at 14 under, and still about 36 holes, or rather, sorry, 27 holes, or just under that left in this tournament, with one crore prize. And I'm sure all 4 of them fancying their chances. Out of the four, only Tangaraja has been victorious this year. Hani Basoya, once a very consistent player. Hani Basoya, Manu Gandha, Shubhankar Sharma, they all grew up together almost and used to play a lot of amateur junior golf. I've actually seen them in a lot of IGO events. Fascinating to see that 10 or 15 years later that these guys are still great friends and continue to compete with each other on the domestic and sometimes international circuit. Shubhankar, of course, being there on the DP World Tour now, and Veera Rawat along with him. And I'm sure all these guys fancy a chance of getting at the DP World Tour by topping the order of merit.
Yeah, that's definitely an added cherry on top of that cake. And it makes these golfers a lot better when they're able to venture on new shores, so as to speak. It's such a challenging tour, the DP World Tour. So you see that that's how you build a career. Manu Gandas looking to rekindle some of that form that got him there to that position of numero uno. That year was a battle between himself and Yuvraj. And Yuvraj, of course, again in fine fettle. He is really a breakout star, and would be interesting to note how their rivalry goes down over the years. In years past, you had the big three of Indian golf, so to speak, Jeev, Jyoti, and Arjun Atwal. And now it's just a fresh crop of golfers. I'm not quite certain who is the front runner. There are quite a few. You see Veer doing so well abroad, and you see even the Saptak is playing on the Asian tour. So it's very difficult to put your finger on one particular player, but there have been breakout champions who won a lot of tournaments. Udyan Mane, although Udyan has not really been able to replicate that form overseas.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Udyan Mane has actually had a bit of an up and down run over the last few years, though he did go to the Olympics. There was a time when he actually came close to winning four in a row. He won three and then finished runner up. And that was the year when he actually topped the order of merit also. But he is actually coming back into form. An eagle putt on hole 10. And there it drops. Nice one there. Shaurya Bhattacharya, that is.
Yeah, look at that putt once again. That's a sight for sore eyes when you can no longer spot the ball on a putting green. About CCPL, Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited, one of the leading group of companies of Indian oils, was conceived in 1960s with a 2.5 million metric tons per annum refinery designed to produce fuels and lubes-based stock. At CPCL, the past 5 decades have been eventful, growth-oriented phase as CPCL family built the organization to reach the present stature of 10.5 mmtpa capacity. Today, CPCL stands tall among the public sector refining companies in India, with one of the most complex refineries of its kind in the country, producing an array of value-added petroleum products. It also pioneered key initiatives in several areas such as process optimization, technology absorption, energy conservation, wasteland reclamation, and environment management. And now, of course, they are sponsoring this event. So, doing a lot of good for the power and energy demands of our great nation, and also for the sporting now.
Indeed, I mean, the way the tour has grown, and with a lot of international tournaments on the calendar too. We had the Hero Indian Open. Now we're going to have the TP World India Championships with Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, and just the announcement of a former Open winner, major winner, Shane Lowry, and Victor Hovland. Victor Hovland, Shaurya, also loves chess. He is a great fan of Magnus Carlsen, his countryman, who's actually been a world champion for many years, and he's also quite familiar with India's former world champion Vishy Anand. So that's quite a unique thing that Hovland, who plays chess on a golf course, I mean, has a terrific course management, will be here, and that would be a treat. In the meantime, a treat here in Chennai.
Has run that by a fair distance. A really good putter, Arjun, and also gained length off the tee. Gets the ball somewhere about 285 yards in the air, and then rolls it well beyond 300. And has a good looping sort of a draw as well, and can really get it out there. And hits his irons a long distance. He has the ability of hitting that forehand well over 225, 30 yards, and is really a wizard on the greens. So if he gets going, definitely do watch out for him.
That Eagle 2 we saw from Shaurya on the 10th has actually pushed him to sole fourth place behind the three people who are now sharing the lead, with Akshay having actually dropped a double bogey on the 10th. So it was quite a whammy there. A massive four-shot swing in the favor of Shaurya at the same hole, where Akshay, the overnight leader, dropping a double bogey, and Shaurya picking up an eagle. That doesn't happen too often, does it, Shaurya? I'm so sure is actually reveling in the fact that his namesake has actually made up four shots in a single hole, just as the players have made the turn and moved on to the 10th. So on the 10th, after 10 holes, we have Shaurya Bhattacharya at 13, and Akshay Sharma, who was actually the leader overnight, has dropped to 12 under. He's dropped a shot. He's 1 over for the day, with the leaders being Hani Basoya, Thangaraja, and Manu Gandas at 14 under. It's still tight, and Akshay is actually not out of the race. I mean, of course, 12 under, pretty close there.
Yeah, it's indeed that type of a golf course. You try to get the pedal to the metal, and sometimes it can bite back. That was good. A horseshoe inside. So Akshay, unfortunately, having to reload off the tee, so as to speak, and take a two-shot penalty. So that's what an errant shot can do here. So double. Um, you know, um, Misery for some is an opportunity for others, and Shaurya has been able to capitalize on that with open arms. The previous three editions of the Chennai Open were won by Mukesh Kumar, 2016 at the Madras Gymkhana Club. Gindi Mithun Pereira, Sri Lanka's star golfer, who has hung up his cleats, so as to speak, is now a coach. He won the 2018 Madras Gymkhana Club. And then Manu Gandas at this golf course 3 years ago.
And here is Hani Basoya, hoping that he will end a long drought. I think it's been about 4 years since he actually won a title, even though he's been knocking on the doors. He's had quite a good season this year with a lot of top tens. He actually was also second runner-up at one of the events and third. So a good chance for him to, kind of actually lift the trophy and that handsome prize of rupees 15 lakhs. He's actually quite a cool customer. I mean, doesn't show too much of emotion, whether he gets a birdie or drops a bogey.
Yeah, that's one way to be a good player, is to have ice in your veins, so as to speak. I'm seeing a lot of these floral, I don't know what you call the design, a very fancy kind of design. I've not quite seen this on t-shirts before. We've seen Akshay with one, Arjun with one, and so not just their game, they also have the style on point.
While I'm admiring that is Rohan Dholpatil getting ready. I must confess at this stage, I'm also becoming quite a fan of my co-commentator Shaurya, who seems to have quite a few lines, in his repertoire, and quite a few of them I really enjoy it. Maybe I should start taking note of them and use them every now and then. But then maybe I should get my own new lines rather than plagiarizing from Shaurya. Here is Rohan.
Well, Mr. Swami, I am in awe of your knowledge and all that you stand for. I must say so. It's definitely mutual admiration, and I thank you for that. You've been associated so keenly. It won't be too far to say that you're really you're a treasure trove of knowledge and almost like a thesaurus on Indian golf, especially given the fact that now it's more global than you have a pulse on where our players are playing, and something that we often worry about is the future of the game, and it looks that it's in good hands with the Professional Golf Tour of India. The only thing is you're missing now probably one of these golfers to really stamp their authority on the international stage. You have your breakout star Veer, Yuvraj, Shubhankar. He's really flying the flag high. Bhuller and so many more. Arjun cleans up for that. What's your take on that? Is the competition, is it because the way the tours are now, or the travel schedules are more hectic, or a change in equipment? What is it that we saw Jeev get up to? What was his highest world ranking? 27. You would know, I think 27. So, what would we have to see? How long do we have to wait before we see our players again? Really on the top of the golfing echelon, so as to speak, globally.
The talent is very much there, and you look at the fact that we have Indians on virtually every tour playing right now. We have Rehan Thomas, who is playing on the Conferry Tour. He's been a winner on the PGTI. We've got Saptak Talwar, who's playing on the Hotel Planner Tour in Europe. He's been a winner this year on the PGTI. And we've got a bunch of people, young stars playing on the Asian Tour who won. This man, for instance, Rohan Dholpatil, actually broke out when he moved from the amateur to professional ranks. But that promise, which was there in abundance when he was an amateur, hasn't actually kind of flowered when he's turned professional. But I'm 100% sure that once he crosses the line, and things will change dramatically. I think it's always a question of picking your first trophy, and that's what they say. For years and years you don't win, and then suddenly it becomes you come up with a big one. Tommy Fleetwood had the record for maximum number of top 5 finishes on the PGA Tour, and then suddenly he picked up the big one at the FedEx Cup playoffs, and he went on to win the FedEx Cup itself with a huge amount of money. I can't even tell you how much money it was. So when the breakthrough comes, it really carries you into a different kind of a stratosphere.
Yeah, let's hope that we have that breakthrough happening for our players. There's something really quaint about a golf course. It is, as they say, the calm before the storm. The penultimate day is a moving day. The players on a golf course like this, which seems to be a birdie fest, it is going to come down to who can really wield that putter like a weapon. It's definitely not going to be a battle of attrition here on this golf course. As we have a look at that putt, so close yet so far. So birdies are definitely going to be the order of the day, and Tappy is well equipped to make a lot of birdies. Hits the ball far, and is not too perturbed by the happenings on a golf course. He's a very good temperament.
Indeed, Tappy had to wait for a long time before he got his maiden win. See, this is again, this is one sport where you might keep playing 20 times a year in, say, top class championships around the world, regardless of which tour you're on. And And it's not necessary that you will win all of them. And certainly, there is no way. Even Tiger Woods never won all his tournaments. And if you win once or twice in a season, that's fantastic. And if you can keep that run going for a few years, that'll be like awesome. So, each win is treasured and really well deserved, and something that these guys have to work for. And, that each time they turn up at a golf course, they know it's a different surface, different weather conditions. I mean, no shot can ever be same in your entire lifetime because there are so many variables.
Yeah, I never heard truer words, and that putt goes a begging as well. Even if you have a similar length putt, similar break, but it still somehow feels different. You can practice all you want on the practice range, and we professionals have done that a lot. You often go to different lengths to ensure that you have all your bases covered. Even if you're talking about visual mental golf, where you try and make all those putts and try and elicit the kind of feeling that you would get while you're on the golf course. But when you're out on the course, it's never quite the same.
Absolutely, they often say that in England, many places you see all four seasons in a single day, and there you are, Thankaraja, really excited about that. This is another man who just loves this golf. I don't know whether I've ever shared this story with you. A couple of years ago at the Dubai Desert Classic, he had a backpack and he was walking with a bottle of water, and he just wanted to see every player that he could because he said, I just want to learn here. And he had like kind of just come there as a spectator, one of the leading golfers on the PGTI, and there he was, a spectator wanting to learn at every hole from every player that he could see. Now, whether it was Rory McIlroy or Fleetwood or anyone, he said there's so much to be learned. Indeed, I think that's the kind of an attitude. Talking about attitude and talking about learning, and our television team, our camera team is also doing a great job. There's the super tracker here. They've been trying to bring everything that is modern and professional all the time. They've done a pretty good job. They've done a great job, actually. Actually, covering golf is not easy. 18 holes. You've got the tee off, the fairways, and then the green. So, just walking down, lugging that camera, and making sure you can actually spot the ball and track it. That itself is an art as difficult as hitting a small dimpled ball 1 square inch from 500 yards away to try and get into that small cup.
Yeah, rather eloquent way of letting our viewers understand the game of golf, as we have a look at the putter being employed from outside the green. That's rather surprising, but to good effect nevertheless. That was Mari Muthu R. He has a sort of power that he can probably use like a 2 iron to get onto any of many of the par fours on this golf course. His playing partners Arjun Sharma and Jamal. I would say Arjun probably a little longer off the tee than Jamal Hussain. So Jamal a lot more seasoned with victories under his belt. Arjun now also ventures a lot overseas as well. Really hard worker, plays out of Greater Noida, and whenever I do go there for my weekend games, I see him very diligently on the range working on his game. Oh, that looked like it almost veered off to the right, but yeah, his reaction was a little unfathomable, but nevertheless, the ball ended up where it had to.
a little while ago when we saw Thangaraja actually celebrating that birdie on the 12th. No wonder he was ecstatic about it. He actually moved into sole lead, kind of, broke away a step ahead of Hani Basoya and Manu Gandas, with whom he'd shared the lead till at that point. From 14 under, he's now moved on to 15 under. He's 6 under for the day with 7 birdies and 1 bogey on the 6th. On the par 4, which he dropped the shot. So there's been quite a lot of I'd say a lot of fair number of birdies from, and we were talking about technology and Super Tracker. Here it is. This Aditya Mohan. This golf course has been actually quite fair, while it has actually extracted a few double bogeys from the likes of Akshay Sharma, Arjun Prasad. It has also yielded eagles to Shaurya Bhattacharya, Jairaj Sandhu, Subhash Tamang, and of course Manjot Singh, who's already finished. He's finished at 6 under, and he had 2 eagles on the 16th and the 18th. That's quite something. 2 eagles in a space of 3 holes.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है।
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
Indeed, CPCL, the 12 of Tamil Nadu and pride of the nation, as these golfers are the pride for Indian golf. The highest ever prize money offered for an event in Chennai on this Cosmo TNGF golf course, a historic one, having come up in 1938. So in about a decade and a half, almost a little under a decade and a half, it'll reach its century. And as I welcome my colleague Ashwin for another stint, Thangaraja is leading at 15 under through 12. Hani Basoya and Manu Gandas at 14 under, one step behind them. Both of them, Hani has played 13, Manu has played 11, and Shaurya Bhattacharya breathing down their neck at 12 under. So it's quite close, and of course the overnight leader, really not out of the picture, at 12 under also. So it's quite tight there for the top 5 players.
Thank you, sir. There we have Akshay Sharma, who was in the lead for 2 straight days and for a major part of today. having slipped to tied fourth place, courtesy a dropped shot on his closing hole of the outward journey and a double bogey on the opening hole of his return journey. That is, a bogey on the ninth and a double bogey on the 10th. Strange game is golf, isn't it, sir?
There is danger and there is exhilaration lurking around after every stroke. That's what makes golf so exciting. Arjun Prasad, having one of the most consistent seasons of his career, and this week, a good move could actually see him trend closer to the order of merit leader Yuvraj Sandhu, who's playing in an international event this week. Small nuggets of information on the scroll on your screen. A new clubhouse coming up at the Cosmo Golf Course. The clubhouse was inaugurated in April 2023, so I'm sure it should be ready in a short time from now. The agony and ecstasy of golf. Rohan telling his caddy, "Look, how could it let me down like that?" Golfers always have special conversations with their golf ball. When it's up in the air, they bid it to go right or left, or to stop when it's rolling. And on the green, they're trying to will that small golf ball to get into the hole.
Some fall and some don't. And that one just found the heart of the cup. Tangaraja has been a revelation today. In fact, if you look at the top three players, there's a total of 17 birdies today and just one dropped shot. And that too on the par for sixth, which is rated stroke index 1 on the course. Tangaraja has erred only once today, sitting pretty at 15 under, with the duo of Hani Basoya and Manu Gandas tied second, just one stroke behind the leader. You had mentioned Hani Basoya in an earlier conversation, sir. His last win came at the J&K Open presented by the J&K Tourism in 2021. And he pocketed a whopping 6,46,600 rupees for that effort. But ever since, he finished second this year at the Qutub Golf Course, at the Callans Open. But otherwise, he's yet to find that win, and he will want to make amends at Chennai. Ironically, he's also won back-to-back events in 2020 in Pune, 2018 in Pune and Delhi, the Pune Open Golf Championship and the Delhi NCR Open Golf Championship. That was another high for him. But after that, other than the win at J&K, he has struggled to sit atop the leaderboard after the closing hole.
Two of the five players that you see on the leaderboard on the bottom right-hand corner, Tangaraja and Shaurya Bhattacharya, have tasted success this season. In a season where Yuvraj Singh has twice won back-to-back events and Angad Chima did the same. So those two players picked up 6 titles between the two of them. And here is Manu Gandas facing a challenging par putt on the 12th. I'm sure he realizes that this is a crucial one to keep him in contention. Of course, still a lot of golf to come. A little over a day yet to go, yet to be played. Perfect. Rolled in, and I'm sure he's pleased with that par putt. Of course, not an he didn't gain a shot out there, but he certainly didn't lose one there. There it is, an action replay of that shot. There it disappears.
The fact that golf is a viable option as a profession today, and kudos to PGTI for ensuring that happens, goes to show can be easily discerned from the fact that the top 13 players on the order of merit have earned in excess of 40 lakhs, and we are just about halfway through the season. Yuvraj Sandhu, of course, sitting atop that list with 88 lakhs 67,200 rupees. That is a massive figure. Of course, he has played 11 games, won 4, missed 9 cuts, but had 8 top 10 finishes. It's not the misses, but the hits that count. And some people say golf is a fickle mistress, but consistency is always rewarded in this sport. See the lush green Cosmo TNGF golf course with its manicured fairways, well-defined rough, and challenging greens. You've seen some of these really long putts drop.
While Ashwin was waxing eloquent about the lush greens, there was a caddy across his screen who was also wearing lovely green trousers. Almost seemed to be disappearing in the background. Good choice of colors. Victorious choice there. The joy of golfing. Actually, Victoria's Choice has done a great job for having created a players' lounge at almost all the venues. A great addition this year on the PGTI. Meanwhile, Thangaraja has pulled ahead further. A birdie on the 13th pushes him up to 16 under. Truly a great moving day for Thanga, who's already had one win this season. He could become the third player this season to win more than once. There you get to see it. 16 under for N. Thangaraja from Sri Lanka. Hani Basoya at 14 under through 14, 4 more holes to go. Manu Gandhas and Shaurya. Manu Gandhas at 14 under also. Shaurya Bhattacharya and Akshay Sharma at 12 under each through 12 holes. So there is still the 5 guys within 4 shots of each other and 3 players within 2 shots of each other, and a whole bunch there at 9 and 8. It promises to be a very... There it is, the man, the leader, striding close to the green. Moments of the day. That's Arjun Prasad smiling. usually so focused that he actually just kind of focuses on the game, and these are small rituals that each player goes through. Pensive before the round, during the round, and here is Jamal. You might be wondering what what the player was doing. He's actually trying to get his wrist loosen up. And here is this Honey Basoya from almost the edge.
You're talking about green trousers. It's interesting to see what colors players pick to play with on the final round. It will be interesting to see what each of the leaders chooses to wear. Honey is in a black tee right now. Let's see what he picks to play tomorrow. Oh, that just lipped the cup and rolled away, spurned by a seemingly angry cup. The greens are playing to speed of 9.5 today, which is relatively quick. And we presume they'll get only a little quicker tomorrow. What do you say, Shaurya?
Yeah, the green speed does improve as the week wears on. They're playing at approximately 9.5 today, if I'm not wrong, and that is a very comfortable, genial speed for the players. Not too fast, not too slow either, and so that takes 3 putts out of the question. And the greens are not too big here either, so you won't see too many 3 putts, but you'll also see a lot of players missing the green, and with that, they'll have to have their short game on song, otherwise they'll end up dropping shots. So that's something that we've seen on the first 2 days. As you have a look at Arjun here, Thangaraja leading the tournament at 16 under par, blistering 7 under par already through 13 holes. So he's making almost a birdie a hole, a little above that. And then you have Honey Basoya at 6 under, 2 shots behind. Manugandas, season campaigner, at 14 under par. Akshay Sharma looking for that victory as to correct that round somewhat after that double bogey, a bogey on 9 and double on 10. So he's seen his challenge thwarted somewhat. He's at 1 over for the day, one of the only few players in the top 25 who is over par for the day. So we'll need to make amends towards the closing few holes of this round. Shaurya Bhattacharya, the young man with a lot of promise, 12 under par. I reckon anybody within 7 shots, 8 shots on the final day has an opportunity to win this tournament. You'll see a lot of low scores, and that's what has been the theme of the day. Badal Hussain, 5 under par. Jairaj Singh Sandhu, 4 under par. You also have Manoj S, 4 under par. Manjot Singh with a rare duet of eagles on 16 and 18. Eagles separated by a solitary hole. Then you have Yash Majumdar with what appears to be the round of the day, 8 under par, an eagle and 6 birdies. Brilliant round by him, and he's not done yet. He still has quite a few holes to go. And lower down you have K. Prabhakaran, former Indian Open, Indian All India Amateur Champion at Coimbatore in the year 2007, or if memory serves me correct. And you also have Chika Rangappa at even par, also a former All India Amateur Champion. Mukesh Kumar, the ageless miracle. He is the embodiment of what man can do if you put your head to it. Almost touching 60 now. I believe he's 58 or 59, if not actually 60. And shows no sign of slowing down. Really does work hard. As we have a look at Thanga with this putt, which will have a considerable amount of break from the left. And he's over borrowed somewhat and misses it on the higher side. Mukesh Kumar has the highest number of victories out of all the Indian professionals. Well over 120 victories, professional victories, and still competitive. Hails from a family of sport. His father was a wrestler. And I think that, you see, you get some genetic dividend. Mukesh Kumar always very strong in the arms and almost like Ben Hogan eliminating one side of the golf course. Always played golf left to right and didn't really use too much of the wrists. And a very consistent left right hit and always has a smile and a song.
Speaking of Mukesh Kumar, he honed his physical skills would have been inherited, but his mental skills were honed by meditating in a crowded marketplace in Mao in the early 2000s. In an interview, he clearly stated that that's how he improved his focus and removed distractions, which is what performance in top level sport is all about. Meanwhile, Shaurya Bhattacharya, who has come, of course, he has undone his eagle on the 10th with a bogey on the 11th, but he's very much in the race at 12 under. Shaurya is coming on the back of a second place finish at the Kolar Open powered by Zion Hills last week. He pocketed a whopping 10 lakhs for that effort. And prior to this, he's actually won a tournament this year, the SECL Chhattisgarh Open Golf Championship, and he pocketed 15 lakhs for that. So he is very much in the scheme of things, and he knows how to win. And you can't write him off at all. That eagle is testimony to the fact.
Yes, no dearth of talent here. And the tour, we are on the 17th week currently. The tour moves to Hyderabad for the Golconda Masters 2025. You see those two split screen views. You have Manu Gandas and Thanga Raja, who just about missed that putt on the higher side. The week after that, we head on to Coimbatore Open, a wind-swept golf course. Probably one of the few golf courses where the wind really does surge and can wreak havoc. And then the week after that, the tour heads on to Bengaluru for the Karnataka Golf, for the Bengaluru Open at the KGA Golf Association. And then, of course, the DP World India Open at the Delhi Golf Club, which is going to be played by none other than Rory McIlroy. So a slew of big names will be here, and alongside them will be our stars on the Professional Golf Tour of India. As we look at that super tracker and Gaurav Pratap Singh, always an animated response. That shows you a very good view of Manu Gandas' swing, if I am not wrong. GP. That's a great addition, shows you how that ball is traveling. Gaurav Pratap Singh, also two-time winner on tour. Always one with a joke up his sleeve. And as far as attitude of a champion, I think he's one that youngsters must try and embody. Even if he's 5 or 7 or 8 shots back, he always does really believe wholeheartedly and goes hell for leather. Says, I never play for second place. I always try and go for broke. Maybe you want to use that strategy with a touch of caution, but as they say, there can only be one champion, and he who buys the ticket wins the raffle. As we have a look at Marimutu, probably one of the strongest drivers that I have seen in my life. I actually played a tournament alongside him almost a decade ago in Pune. And I was almost dumbstruck by the way that he was hitting the drivers. He had he had a lot of speed, and to add to that, he also had perfect contact. Had the left wrist also sort of ahead at impact, and really put a lot of juice on that driver. Would hit those customary risers that we used to see from Jyoti Randhawa back in the day, and that's a feat that you can only pull off if you have speed, agility, and the aft used word compression. So he has all of that, but I think beyond that, his short game is one that has held him back, so to speak. And we have a look at Arjun here. Very nice posture. You see those lines. Very good with the putter on the green. And that also flummoxing Arjun now. Surprising that turned the other way. I think he is also one that second guessed that line. Jamal, though, would have benefited from that. You see, in professional golf, if you're on the same line, the other looks on rather pensively to try and understand which way the cookie crumbles and which way the ball will break. Now, he has food for thought. From our vantage point, it looks like it's fairly straight, but we saw the previous putt to break to the left, and now that's something that has given him a little bit to think about. Normally, he's very assertive, but here you see he's trying to ensure that he gets the correct read, because you can hit a good stroke, but if you don't get a good read, then it's unfortunately a lost cause. Golf is the marriage of speed and line. So let's see if he's able to execute that.
Oh, and that is a very heartbreaking miss. Only a golfer can tell you how he feels when such a thing happens. You'd used a phrase, hell for leather, Shaurya. It actually originates from horse riding, and the leather refers to the saddle on the horse. Being reckless and pushing things beyond limit. Reckless is a negative word. Pushing things to the limit and beyond is what it refers to. So you're very right. Hell for leather is the phrase to use here.
I'm rather surprised that Jamal, being such a seasoned campaigner, and he saw that putt break left, and he still stuck to his guns, and that's something that can happen sometimes. You see a putt, and even though you see it in front of you break a certain way, but you can't quite believe it because you've read it, you read the slope, you read the grass, but sometimes golf is actually a mysterious game, and we just don't say that tongue in cheek. The ball can break. There can be subtle breaks which sort of go against all that you've practiced. So that I think he was a victim to that. Didn't quite change the line. So unfortunately, missing that part.
There are also moments in not just golf and other sport as well when you have some kind of a brain freeze when you want to do something, but somehow you just aren't able to follow through. That happens in cricket for sure, and golf, of course, calls for a lot more precision, fewer scope for errors in golf. Very unforgiving sport. So anyone sitting atop the leaderboard in any tournament, hats off to them because they've done more things right than they have wrong that week. And as we speak, and Tangaraja, after 14 holes, is sitting pretty, of course, with a one-stroke lead at 16 under. Manu Gandas has birdied the 13th and is inched to 15 under, sniffing on N. Tangaraja's heels. And there we have Honey by Soya, one stroke behind Manu Gandas. It's a very, very, very close fought contest here, and tomorrow promises to be an extremely exciting day of golf. Golf lovers in Chennai are in for a treat, and of course, so are we.
Yeah, I often implore our viewers to try and head on to wherever the professional golf tour of India travels, as you have a look at hole number 15, Tapi Ghai. The 15th, measuring 174 yards. Safe to assume that these players would be going with an 8 iron. You already see one ball nestled quite close to the flag, and that is a decent shot. Leaves himself underneath the whole 20 feet.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
Back to the action now. We also want to take a word to talk about the tour partners. Victorious Choice is an entity inspired by the philosophy of Choice International Limited that has risen to become a unicorn in the financial sector with its unique and innovative approach of joy of earning. It's quite a joy indeed that some of these players will enjoy if they play well. And for the others who unfortunately didn't quite survive the cull, there will be no such joy, but such is life, isn't it, Mr. Swami? You have to earn the joy.
You know what? That's what they say, that professional golf can be very cruel. While the winner takes home a fat check, the guys who miss the cut, the halfway cut, they have to kind of just swallow their disappointment and hope for another good week. The best part is there's always another week. The worst part is there is nothing to look forward on the last 2 days, usually weekends on many professional events. No pro golfer wants a free weekend. And here is Akshay Sharma on the green at the 14th. Nice floral shirts. I mean, these days at least the apparel has become extremely colorful. 10 years ago, people were very, very conservative in their choice of clothing on a golf course, but these days, like shorts, colorful shirts, t-shirts, I think everything is like, par for the course, literally.
Yes, the times are changing. As you look at Akshay from outside the green, that was a good effort, just about skimming the hole. There's missing a cut leaves you rather forlorn. I'll tell you that much. Especially if it happens rather often, as it did in my case. You often go on stretches. You'll play well, you'll make a lot of cuts, and sometimes when it's not working, you'd find yourself packing a suitcase after 2 days. And I'll tell you, it's for fall sport that you play, this is a rather unique feeling. First of all, your tournament is abbreviated. It's sort of your plans are up in the air. You're not quite sure when to book your flight, and you miss a cut, and then you're practicing, and you're also second guessing yourselves of things that you could have done correctly. So but it definitely makes not to be it makes a man out of you, so as to use that saying. It also applies to the other gender. It sort of makes you strong and hardens you. Professional golf without a cut wouldn't be professional golf. That's my personal opinion, as this moves left to right. Oh, look at that. Just about agony, and so close to ecstasy. It's only the threat of a cut that makes you perform. Professional golf, there are no favorites here. The best, the winner one week can miss the cut the next, and that's why it's so important. The unique, I think, the most unique facet of professional sport golf is the cut. I don't know any other sport that really does that. you still land up, you get paid, but in professional golf you don't earn any money if you miss a cut. If you're outside the money, so as to speak, you just try your luck the next week. So it's a very good sort of a pyramid kind of setup, and the best are rewarded rather handsomely. But thanks to the growing stature of the tour, as that putt goes in or it doesn't, my apologies. It looked like a confident walk by Thanga, but that was obfuscated by the score. And we're seeing the putts really missing on either side, Mr. Swami. What's happening? The putts are not quite acquiescing to the golfer's wishes this time.
Tricky greens. I mean, the greens can always be very, very tricky. So, no matter how good or bad the scoring is, well, here it is. Arjun Prasad gets the putt all right, and he's looking at the ball and saying, thank you. You were talking about missed cuts, every few and then. I must tell you that one of the great players, Justin Rose, an Olympic champion and a major champion, I mean, he turned pro at the age of 17 after finishing in the top 5 of the Open. And then when he turned pro, he missed 21 successive cuts. Imagine what he must have gone through. Yet he is now emerged as one of the top players in the world, even in his late 40s. He's a contender. He's won a few times, even this year, a couple of times, and he's really fantastic. And another man, closer home, who's going through such a crisis is Shubhankar Sharma. He's now missed, I think, about 14 or 15 cuts in a row this season, and that really must be putting a lot of pressure on him. This week he's playing in France, and hopefully that dreadful streak will come to an end this week. Rohan Dhol Patil, of course, you saw there once the ball disappeared, he was most thankful about it. He's been missing a few putts there. There's Hani Basoya. Many a golfer, even the top ones with a lot of trophies back home in their cabinet, they suffer a crisis of confidence after missing a few cuts. So on a second day, they start thinking about whether or not they're going to be there for the last 2 days. Here it is. Amitabh Kant has joined the PGTI as its newest member of the governing body. An avid golfer. He's going to help PGTI reach new heights.
Yeah, indeed. It's a shot in the arm for the Professional Golf Tour of India. Having such a fine gentleman join the Professional Golf Tour of India, his advice and his stewardship would really help the Professional Golf Tour of India. Alongside him, you have eminent corporate leaders such as Mr. Shantanu Narayan, Mr. Pradeep S. Bakshi, Mr. Nikesh Arora, and many others who've joined the Professional Golf Tour of India, of course, under the able leadership of Mr. Amandeep Jol and Mr. Kapil Dev.
And you now have on the screen Thangaraja leading the field at 16 under through 14 holes, 4 more to go. Manu Gandas 1 behind at 15 under. Hani Basoya 14 under. Shaurya Bhattacharya and Akshay at 13 under. It's now stringing out a little bit. Thangaraja making the big move on the moving day. He's been the one who's actually having a good day with a lot of putts doing the, kind of falling right there. Jairaj Sandhu, 6th. Subhash Tamang, Amardeep Malik, Arjun Prasad, and Mari Muthu sharing the 7th place at 9 under. Jairaj Sandhu, of course, has finished the round, as has Subhash, a former All India amateur champion from neighboring Nepal. 9 under after 3 rounds. But all eyes, they're up there on Thangaraja, Manu Gandas, Hani Basoya, Shaurya and Akshay Sharma. 3 shots separate the 3 informed players. All of them have 4 holes, and actually Honey has 3.
Yeah, they all make the most of moving day, none more so than N. Thangaraja, 7 under par for the day. Manu Gandas, 5 under par. Hani Bisoya also trailing them. I think it's safe to say that the 20 under par mark might be breached once again. And with so many more tournaments to go, that numero uno spot, which currently is held by Yuvraj Sandhu, could be challenged. Arjun Prasad, of course, the closest pursuer. A little bit of trivia. Golf was reinstated into the Olympics, and this, I think, it's a very realistic target for India to get a medal. You know, Aditya Ashok was really close in the previous, till the last edition, and I'm pretty certain that we can sort of have more of that. Our golfers are good enough to finish in the top 3 in these events.
Yes, I mean, there is a fair chance, with the field just being 60 players and no cut. So that always gives all the players a chance. And Aditi, of course, came so close, it could have changed the very way that the Indian sports fans look at golf. Akshay Sharma now on the 15th. He's doing well to hold on, despite things not going his way today. I suppose that's what it's all about, mental strength. And Akshay is showing that he has that in plenty. A few blips out there, a bogey on the 5th and a bogey on the 9th. And here is, we move away from Akshay.
Shaurya now with this chip should break a little right to left. Fairly straightforward. I don't think he should find much difficulty in this, and I think he's really done well. Almost had that one. Really well executed by Shaurya Bhattacharya. I think what's so important in these shots is to ensure that you don't decelerate. Many golfers, especially the amateur players, tend to do that in these shots, and that's when you see the ball sort of veers off a little more to the right. No such issues for Shaurya there, who's done really well. Akshay now, one of the best chippers on tour. Puts a lot of forward lean on that shaft. Gets a good hit. Very aggressive from around the greens. And similar thing on the putting green is employed by him as well. Look at that. Another excellent chip shot. So he's not been too flustered by that double bogey, has been able to come back and make amends on hole number 13. And that would keep him at 13 under par, pretty much in the hunt, 3 shots behind. And such are the ebbs and flows of a golf tournament. It's often like a symphony. They're the lead artists, and then there are others, and you're not quite certain till the end when the crescendo comes in who's going to come atop. So it's pretty similar. There's a lot of intrigue. And at this point in time, we have a total of 10 golfers who are in the running to win this tournament, all up till Mari Muthuar, the prodigious ball striker Mari Muthu at 9 under par, 7 shots behind the leaders. And for those of you who joined us just now, we'd like to tell you we're live at the Chennai Open, powered by CPCL, my apologies, at TNGF Cosmo Golf Course in Chennai. Manu Gandas now. He's given this a lot of thought, has Manu. Let's see if he's been able to lock down the line. Shows you those different colors on the green. That means grass that is darker in view is growing into you. So it can be a little slower, and the lighter shade means that it's going away from the golfer. So becomes a little more difficult for the golfer to gauge the speed as well. Left to right, but for all intents and purposes, this looks fairly makeable, Mr. Swami. My guess is that he'll make this one.
Yes, he should. I mean, he's been putting pretty well. Oh, a commentator's jinx, is it?
Yeah, I would not say so. There was a long putt. In fact, I think he hit a stellar putt. It was almost all of 15, 17 feet, and that was 10 out of 10 as a putt. You can't always hold them, but if your putt crosses the hole and it sort of touches the edge, burns the edge, that's a really good putt. And as a pro golfer, sometimes when you can see a putt, your instinct or sixth sense, whatever it is, tells you that this is a makeable putt, and that looked that way. You just leave it onto the right, and then gravity does the rest.
Sure, this hole has not actually been very easy in terms of yielding too many birdies. I thought Manu Gandas would get one. Of course, lower down the order, Yash Majumdar, Tapi Ghai, and Anand Ahlawat did have birdies. But here, I'm sure many of the guys would be happy to get away with a par because they've got a par 5 coming up immediately after that on the 16th. Here, Shaurya now for a par putt.
Yeah, this is a mere tap in. This golf course is rather unique in that way. It gives you a lot of birdie opportunity, especially towards the start and the end of your round. So that's a good part. You can get off to a hot start and sort of, you know, even continue that towards the end. Or if you've not had the best of days and you've been waylaid on the course, then make the most of it in the finishing stretch. I think a very nice, easy start and an easy end, and it's the middle that counts on this golf course. You have quite a few difficult par fours.
Much as we would like to believe that this is a hugely scoring golf course, I mean, it does have a lot of tricky holes and it's extracted the price, as we can see from many of the bogeys and double bogeys there. So you can't really take your eyes off or your mind off. Chennai Open 2025 TNGF Cosmo Golf Course. There's a lovely view of that. Another look at the scoreboard as Honey Basoya catches up with Manu at 15 under. Honey Basoya got the birdie on the par 5 16th. Now that's a hole which I'm sure all of them fancy picking a shot. It's there for Tangaraja, Manu Kandas, Akshay Sharma, Shaurya Bhattacharya. All of them have yet to play the 16th, and I'm sure they're looking forward to picking up a shot there. They always say that when you come across a par 5, that's when your mouth starts watering. And professional golfers, I mean, they look at each of the 4 days. If it has 4 par 5s, they look at 16 opportunities. And if you can even get 50% or 60% of that, you've got a fair amount of leeway for the rest of the course. Of course, if golf could be played just in terms on an Excel sheet or a mathematical formula, of course, that would be easy. Were you always
Chak-de, India.
Vikram, are we ready to swing some answers?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, what is the craziest thing you've done on a golf course?
I've played shirtless with beer during the round.
Okay, what's the weirdest superstition before a tee shot?
I need to make sure that the ball, anything around the ball is all clear. Like there can't be any twig, any piece of grass.
Power snack or power nap?
Power snack.
If PGTI had a theme song, what would it be?
Chak-de, India.
Can you sing that for us? One line.
Chak-de, India.
Alright, describe PGTI in one word.
I would say evolving.
If you can describe your journey with PGTI.
It's been a journey where I've only grown and I continue to grow, and it's a brilliant platform to play this sport and to compete at the highest level and then maybe get onto the higher tours.
That interesting segment, Bikramjeet Singh Sandhu, my good friend, player. I play a lot of golf with him, and He has a keen sense of humor alongside a good, solid game. So nice to see him loosen up a bit, and it's always good to hear about players and their quirks. You were saying you were talking about par fives. Well, for me, I was a medium hitter, not the longest of hitters. So anything that was reachable for me in two hits, I would always look forward to it. So anything around 550, 560 yards up till that kind of a par five, I would look forward to, because you can get there in a driver three wood. But as the game has progressed, some of the par fives have become a lot longer. So I find myself laying up. So that actually takes off the excitement. The excitement is only when you can get there in two. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, indeed. I mean, when you give yourself a chance, and I'm sure a lot depends upon, the course also. I mean, it's not that every par five is kind of gettable. There we are on the 16th. Thangaraja. Thangaraja Shore is looking at this opportunity here. He's pretty close there. And I wonder if it's for a birdie. So that will help him pull ahead a little more. There's a lot of focus out there on. I mean, he's trying to get there on. Thangaraja, what I would reckon is about 4 or 5 feet. While Tapi Gai and Anand Singh Alawat has two playing partners out there. This is a short pitch out there.
Yeah, this will be an interesting shot. Let's see if he pitches it on the green or a little bit of bump and run. This is somewhere where you're not quite certain. He's definitely gone the aerial route, and that's pretty good execution by him. But that has left a little bit of a tester, maybe all of 9 feet downhill, right to left. So I think he would have wanted to be closer and definitely not go beyond the flag. That's something that you don't want to do. You want to leave it under the flag because the putt is a lot more makeable when you're putting uphill. That's one of the things that I learned from Mukesh Kumar. He used to plan his chip shots in a manner where to leave it. So shows you that perfection is indeed attainable in short game. He used to say that don't try and hold the shot. Always think of the next one.
That's always maturity and experience. And let's see how this goes from behind that mound. Has a lot to cover. There are times, when you rather take the medicine and keep moving than to try some heroics. We're coming towards the closing stages of round 3 of the Chennai Open. CPCL Chennai Open 2025. Right now, Thangaraja, Hani Basoya and Manu Gandas have opened up a 2-shot lead over the rest of the field. Or rather, Thanga is 3 ahead, Hani and Manu being 2 ahead. These closing stages matter a lot because you know that the lunch can taste that much better with an extra shot in your bag.
So true, sir. Tangaraja has a penchant for performing stupendous feats in the final round of a tournament, as was proven by the Adani Invitational earlier this year, when he got a hole in one on the 14th hole of the JP Greens. So Tanga is one of just 10 people who've got holes in one, if that's the phrase, in 2025. And today, he has 8 birdies as against just one dropped shot and is sitting atop that leaderboard at 16 under. Will he be able to breach the 20 under mark tomorrow? What will the scoreline read like? What's your take on this, sir?
Well, if he plays even half as well as he has done today, 20 under shouldn't be too much of a bother. And here he is. Got a nice putt coming up there. And I would assume it's for a birdie. There it is. No mistakes there. And yes, a handshake from his one of the caddies there. And Tangaraja, of course, picks up another shot. At this rate, he'll be out in the lead group tomorrow in the final round. This should be not a tap in, but yes. Anand Ahlawat.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कर आता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
चक दे इंडिया
Vikram, are we ready to swing some answers?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, what is the craziest thing you've done on a golf course?
I've played shirtless with beer during the round.
Okay, what's the weirdest superstition before a tee shot?
I need to make sure that the ball, anything around the ball is all clear. Like there can't be any twig, any piece of grass.
Power snack or power nap?
Power snack.
If PGTI had a theme song, what would it be?
Chak de India.
Can you sing that for us? One line.
Chak de India.
Alright, describe PGTI in one word.
I would say evolving.
If you can describe your journey with PGTI.
It's been a journey where I've only grown and I continue to grow, and it's a brilliant platform to play this sport and to compete at the highest level and then maybe get onto the higher tours.
And that was Bikramjit Singh Sandhu again. As you can see, the levels of fitness of these golfers. He's got not an ounce of fat on his body. You need to be at your fittest to be able to perform at this level. The PGTI Tour requires you to play exceptionally well to be able to survive at this level. One interesting fact today is it's been an action packed day. We have had 9 eagles as against 18 double bogeys. That's a strange statistic. And we have Subhash Tamang and Manjot Singh having carded 2 eagles apiece.
Jeev Milkha Singh, he is definitely the flag bearer of Indian golf. 13 international victories. It's an Indian record. Multiple titles on the European Tour, Asian Tour, and Japan Golf Tour. And he's the only Indian to win on European soil. He's won in Austria and Scotland. What a brilliant player Jeev has been. Still remember that 6-iron that he hit in Valderrama. That is the stuff of legend. For all of us who've seen him play, and even Jyoti Randhawa. I remember Jyoti, that tournament in Italy, unfortunately losing in a playoff. Anirban Lahiri is the only Indian to play in the President's Cup. And he's represented the international team on 2 occasions, 2015, 2017. And it's pretty similar in format to the Ryder Cup, comprising of international players, which players from the rest of the world, barring Europe, and he was stellar. And even now he does fly the Indian flag high. He's a really good international player and plays on different tours. Mostly his golf is played on the Live Tour. Also plays events on other tours as well. And here are the moments of the day. Candid shots, all smiles before we head to work. You see that there's a lot of attention to detail that goes behind a professional golfer's preparation. Amardeep Malik, hammer. And we have the Professional Golf Tour of India team. All the players smiles before the round starts. It's all business as usual once the tee off, but prior to it they're warming up. Some go to the range, some hit balls in the net, so whatever suits your fancy. The idea is to limber up and be ready for battle. Akshay really does crouch over that, and you see that his back also bends. He's very unique in that aspect, almost a little bit like Arnold Palmer, hunched over in the short game. Also favors a left-right fade, so maybe that kind of body shape helps you produce that kind of a shot. One of the rare few occasions that I've seen him hit an underwhelming chip shot. Otherwise, really prodigious with his game around the green is Akshay. This golf course littered with birdie opportunities. I'm pretty certain that players are enjoying their time here. The conditions are pristine. And also a word about some of the tour partners. Victorious Choice we already spoke about. Then you have IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank Limited has been redefining banking for the past 30 years. As we have a look at Manu, now he really does have something on his plate. That's not the easiest of shot. He has to get up and down. If he has to make birdie from there, ball seems to be nestled down. You'll see that he'll try and take a steeper backswing to ensure that the ball can get up in the air a little faster. He'll also, if I'm correct, he'll stand a little closer to the ball, and that ensures that the player can use the bounce of the club. Almost getting under the ball, scooping it up, let the club do the work. He's done that. I think he's executed it really well. What a shot. That's a really good shot from where he was. That's what they say, short sighting yourself. Not much green to work with. Had to contend with that rough and has done really well. Get it to about 6.5, 7 feet. Shows you that It's not just about bludgeoning the ball off the tee. It's also about having that silken touch around the greens. You need the precision of a surgeon and the strength of a blacksmith, and the resolve of a soldier, if I may. And if you can have these qualities, then you can, of course, win golf tournaments. It almost takes me back to the code of the samurai, Bushido. That's something I read about recently, and that's what professional golfers can employ. Would really help as we have a look at those two split views. And getting back to our partners, IndusInd Bank for the past 34 years has been a force for progression and innovation, offering an innovative banking experience for a diverse range of stakeholders, including government entities, PSUs, retail customers, and large corporations. Amrutanjan Electro Plus. Amrutanjan Healthcare Limited is a 127-year-old company with a rich legacy and is best known for its iconic brand Amrutanjan Pain Balm. You have Amul powering the PGTI surge is to a partner Amul, which is India's largest food brand and 8th largest dairy company globally. And then you also have Campa. Campa powers your Zid. Campa, the spark behind every Zid. So it's and then of course you have Rolex. The privilege association between Rolex and golf dates back to 1967, when Alpa became a Rolex testimony. So a long association of these brands with sport, nation building, and health in general. Now we see the players on both these holes reading the green. Currently leading the tournament is N. Thangaraja. He's been able to open up a little bit of a chasm between himself and the pursuers. He sits in rarefied air at 18 under par, 3 ahead of Hani Besoy and Manu Gandas. Trailing them at 13 under par, Akshay Sharma and Shaurya Bhattacharya. Jairaj Singh Sandhu, the southpaw, is at 10 under par alongside Amardeep Malik, the experienced Amardeep Malik.
"18 under par is N. Thangaraja. He's notched up the 10th eagle of the day on the 16th. That's a 3-shot lead. It's a great cushion to enjoy if you can maintain it going into the 4th and final deciding round tomorrow. Meanwhile, Akshay Sharma, the overnight leader and the leader for the first 2 days, is sitting tied 4th at 13 under. He's recovered lost ground after a double bogey on the 10th. A birdie on the 13th has helped him edge a little closer to where he would like to be, which is right atop that leaderboard. Hani Soya and Manu Gandas are tied second at 15 under apiece. Dangerous customers to be having breathing down your neck. Shaurya Bhattacharya is tied with Akshay Sharma at 13 under at 4th place. You see those twin screens? The final 3 holes of the day are going to decide what the leaderboard is going to look like tomorrow. We have had a very exciting day's play, as I was mentioning earlier. There are 10 eagles compared to 18 double bogeys today. There are 2 golfers apiece who've carded 2 eagles and 2 double bogeys each. One gentleman by the name of Subhash Tamang has had a mixed bag of a day. He double bogeyed the second, but more than made up with eagles on the 10th and the closing hole of his round, the 18th. He sits at tied 8th position at 9 under.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. It's been a low-scoring week, and N. Thangaraja is definitely reveling in that of an eagle, and in our view, and holding that as well, steam rolling. the competition. Now he takes a 4-shot lead. This man, my dear friends, is on song. N. Thanga Raja. And I was told last time that means the king of gold by Mr. Swami. So he's definitely moving in the right direction if he has to add to more bullion. And gold is surging, and so is Thanga Raja. They're both on the up in today's day. As we have a look at this putt, should break a little bit from the left. Tappy guy. You know, I've seen him for years, and he's always had a similar look. The dark shades and the 5 o'clock shadow. Unmistakable tappy guy. Pretty similar in demeanor to Ajitesh Sandhu. You can't quite tell if they made a birdie or a bogey. Ajitesh, of course, a fan favorite wherever he plays golf. They see a missed putt for Honey.
I was asking Mr. V. Krishnaswamy just not 15 minutes ago whether 20 under is a likely score for tomorrow. It looks like a likely score today because we have and Tangaranja just with one hole to play already sitting pretty at 19 under.
Yeah, and now we have Arjun Prasad. This golf course is all about the short stick. That's been proven by these golfers who've gone deep. If you can just control your mid-irons. And that was fairly short, a mere formality for Arjun. The order of merit, that number one position is really coveted. Yuvraj Sandhu has his eyes set on Europe, not just the world. And he's currently leading the order of merit at 88 lakhs, 67,000. Arjun Prasad in second position will inch closer. Then you have Udyan Mane, Angad Chima as well. Joshua Berry, of course, not playing the PGT regularly. Shaurya Bhattacharya as well. Would be looking to reach near the summit. I think the battle for top honors is squarely between Yuvraj, Arjun, Udyan, and Angad, and as well as Shaurya. So it seems like a 5-way battle.
Slight correction. I thought Thangaraja had birdied the 17, but he has parred it, so he's still sitting pretty at 18 under, which is again just 2 strokes away from the coveted 20 mark.
I won't blame you for that. He had me fooled as well. The exaltation I was thinking it was a birdie, but nevertheless, the putter is hot, and that's what you need, as they used to say. In fact, as my father used to say, you putt for dough and drive for show. Of course, the game has changed somewhat from those yesteryears. Driving is such an imperative, important part. You can't quite work around it. You have to be hitting it long and straight.
What's surprising is Jamal Hussain, who's been the epitome of consistency over the years, has slipped now to the tied 11th place, whereas his namesake Badal Hussain was also actually tied at 11th place. That's strange. But anyway, Jamal Hussain has dropped shots, 2 shots in the back 9. He was otherwise, and he's dropped 3 shots all in all today, and he's playing to even par. He started with 2 rounds of 68 on round day 1 and day 2, but he hasn't been able to capitalize to propel himself into a position where he can go for a charge on the final day.
Yes, it's all about making the most of your breaks. As we have a look at Arjun here. Arjun currently at 8 under par for the day, for the tournament. My apologies. Has not been able to make much of a move. Let's see if he can hold this one. It looks like it's tracking. It looks good. And just about missing it on the lower side. But that was a valiant effort by him. He really does know how to roll his rock.
One man who's been operating in the shadows but quietly climbing up this leaderboard is Amardeep Malik. There has been no mention of him. He had a dropped shot in the second hole after carding a round of 71 yesterday. He started with the 68 on round one, but thereafter he has notched up 6 birdies and now presently sits at tied sixth position at 10 under. Remarkable.
Yeah, he's done well. He's also, the three of them are in for a tie in sixth position. Jairaj, Amardeep, and Arjun Prasad. And I think it's so important to be in double digits at the end of the third day. You don't want to be too far behind. You want to feel that you can actually catch the leader, and that's a brilliant putt by Jamal. That's one way to get closer to the leaders. That moves him to 9 under par. Still a fair distance away, but as long as you're visible in the rear view mirror, I think that is good enough.
18 under is the leader, and Tangaraja, as I mentioned earlier, Tangaraja got a hole in one on the fourth round of the JP Greens earlier this year in April, and he's looks like he plays well under pressure. Can he repeat this performance tomorrow? There's something we've got to wait and watch.
Yeah, he does have a lot of metal, does Thanga. As we have a look at Marimuthu also holding that putt. He's I think he's India's John Daly. Very nonchalant. And that's something that you see is a similarity between all long hitters, because the game definitely seems a lot easier when you can pound those drives 320. There's not really much in the way of a sting in the tail that the golf course has when you hit the ball that far. So often you'll find that the longer hitters, they more often than not come in their own way. If you have that prodigious talent, the game does become easy. But of course, God never gives you everything. So maybe there's a few things like short game or putting that those are the demons that they must conquer. But for a lot of the other lesser mortals, you have to work on each facet of the game. Somebody who has a great unique mix of all those elements is Manu Gandas, who's in view. He has the power, he has the poise, and he has the touch. So there's not much lacking in this young man's game, and that's the reason that he was the number one and was able to play on the DP World Tour. I'm pretty certain that he's looking for another shot at it.
He's also the defending champion, and he's had a blemish-free round with 6 birdies today. However, another gentleman who almost finished his round without putting a foot wrong, Hani Baisoya, has unfortunately dropped a shot on the 18th and has slipped to 4 shots behind the leader and 2 behind second place Manu Gandas.
This is a shot that you need to get under, and that's the degree of difficulty there. So this golf course, it doesn't quite get you off the tee, but it definitely bites you around the green with that crabgrass. So you saw that you had to get that ball up in the air and down rather quickly. So it's not. It's a lot easier said than done.
Manu Gandas will try to lessen the lead, so to speak, going into the final round. There is no two ways about the fact that he wants to retain this title, something he covets. Shaurya Bhattacharya in the meanwhile, 13 under for the day, tied 4th alongside Akshay Sharma, who was the overnight leader.
I was while we were commentating, I was also ruminating and I had a few thoughts. I read this book and it's a little bit of Taoism quote that said that those who know do not speak, and those who speak do not know. So I don't know where that puts us commentators in a tricky spot. That's for certain.
There are the odd exceptions. People who either lack in both qualities or excel in both.
Yeah, so The jury is out, but yes, it's a lot easier to talk about golf than it is to play it, ladies and gentlemen. But I implore you, definitely do get your finest clothes and do play golf. It's a great hobby, and sometimes they say it's a ruinous disease. Those are one of those sayings that are there on a golf course: a great hobby and a ruinous disease. But if you can make money, like Thangar Raja, the king of gold, he's surging forward. His stock is high, and he's at 18 under par, 2 shots ahead of this man on your screen. But he's no stranger to success, and he's going to be ready for a battle. And tomorrow it's going to be one to remember. Two heavyweights going at it, but not just the two of them. There's a bevy of contenders. There's Hani Besoya, there's Akshay Sharma, there's Shaurya Bhattacharya, there's Jairaj Singh Sandhu. Put in a left-hander, a southpaw into the mix as well. So maybe he can have a few roundhouses for the rest of the field. Amardeep Malik, hammer time. Maybe it indeed is hammer time once again for another victory for Amar. Manu Gandas after that chip. Let's see if he can make that putt. That bag has obfuscated view, and he has indeed made that putt, ladies and gentlemen. So if you can't quite see it, you can still quite know that it's gone in the hole, and indeed it has. You see that walk. And it also has a very even-keeled gait. Also very unassuming. You don't quite know what is happening inside his mind.
As all eyes are trained on the leaderboard and the leaders, a gentleman by the name of Anant Singh Lawat has had a torrid time in the front nine. He's dropped 7 shots before making the turn, but after making the turn, this gentleman has put together a string of birdies, a hat trick of birdies. Anant Lawat, ironically, got a hole in one yesterday on the par 3 fourth.
Yeah, such is the game of golf. It has a short memory indeed, and you're only as good as your last performance. But of course, Anand Singh Alawat has a lot of fortitude. He had to brave the tempest on the front nine, but the back nine, he was there. He made 3 birdies on the trot, and that's what you do. You claw back. You don't let hard things get to you. You fight back, and you're trying to extract victory from the jaws of defeat.
Well, he has every opportunity to finish in the top 10 tomorrow if he maintains the form that he's recently found in the back nine. Meanwhile, N. Thangaraja is ruling the roost with a 2-stroke lead.
Yeah, Thanga is really playing well.
Just as his round's about to come to an end, he's chipping onto the green on the 18th.
And we just saw Anant Singh Alawat as well on 18th. So my guess is that that would have been a chip for Eagle. He would have been 2 off the green. So let's see if he can make a birdie here. And that is not his best bunker shot, but I would say that's not bad either. That's a decent bunker shot, given that length, maybe about 10 to 12 feet. I see Tappy with a rather difficult shot. Contrary to popular belief, if it's really close, it's not easy. It's actually becomes it's a lot more difficult because he needs to get that ball up, put some spin on it, and ensure perfect contact while not going too far ahead of the flag. Very difficult shot indeed, and that's exactly what I was saying. This shot looks fairly benign, but probably one of the most difficult short game shots, even for players of the caliber of Tappy Ghai. And that you'll see the best of players are able to execute that shot because you need speed. You also need to open the club face, use the bounce, and then deaden the impact and try to stop the club. So too many things have to be achieved. And more often than not, I've seen the longest hitters are very good at these bunker shots that require you to generate speed in a very short duration. So take a short backswing and then generate speed. So, contrary to popular opinion, it's not that long hitters only get a benefit off the tee or maybe the long irons. In fact, if they can hone their skills, they have an edge even in short game because they can generate a lot more spin with a shorter swing because they have higher rate of acceleration. So, it does help, especially in these peculiar shots where you need spin.
That's Tappy Guy lining up his putt. As we come to the close of round 3 of the Chennai Open, powered by CPCL. Chennai is a city where people love their sport, be it cricket, badminton, squash, golf, name it. And you can expect a fair crowd there at the Cosmo TNGF Golf Course tomorrow, watching this outstanding contest on what is a very, very, very competitive golf tour.
And we would say that why should the viewers miss out either? Please do tell your friends and others who are interested in the game of golf. They can catch it live on YouTube, Facebook, your TV screens, and we are on ABP network. It also gets aired on other networks. You can see highlight reels on DD, Eurosport, and so on and so forth. So many opportunities for you to catch the action. And if you happen to be in the vicinity, then just walk on over to the golf course and watch these fine fellas play golf. Brilliant putt. So you see that he's been fighting back and finishes his round in style. Never gave up even after all those trials and tribulations. And it's days like this which will teach him a lot. It's not how you handle victory. Anybody can handle victory. It's how you handle defeat and come back from it. So it takes me back to the line from Rocky Balboa. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And that's how winning is done, apparently. So kudos to the young man.
Also reminds me of a favorite saying of mine: the heights that great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Bard of Avon here in the booth. Yeah, you didn't tell me that you had this side to you, Mr. Ashwin. Please do regale us more as we have a look at the golf.
One thing I've realized, Shaurya, is watching golf is almost as addictive as playing it. So
yes, a lot less heartbreaking, I tell you that much, and a lot better for the BP.
So true.
Good putt right there, but he'd feel that he let that get away. That was difficult up and down for Tappy, but I think all things considered, a good day's golf. So we draw a close, almost a close. We have the last group coming in. It's been a great day's golf thus so far. N. Thanga Raja, 18 under par. Manuganda, 16 under par. It shows you the birds' view from right there. That's kind courtesy. The drone. I think technology has really progressed. You see a lot of innovation happening in AI as well, and I think there are companies that are coming in this sphere and how you can maximize the potential of a golfer. So these players are not going to be too far behind. They use these new devices like the TrackMan and these other similar range finders and so on and so forth, and try and maximize the peak potential that they have. And that's one of the reasons you see so many low.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है।
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद
A fact that the local pro here, a good friend of mine, Sandeep Sial, who is an established professional golfer, also a very good amateur back in the day, shot 8 under par here, 64, tying a world record of 8 consecutive birdies, which he shot from hole number 6 to hole number 13. And his father is also a fellow Sonarian as well, so I met his father, in fact, at one of the reunions, and I didn't quite know that Sandip. And the two brothers, the Gaurav and Sandeep. Gaurav, though, of course, a real long hitter. I'll tell you that much. A very long hitter. Sandip is a very good all-rounded player and a thorough gent. As we look at Akshay, I reckon he'll be able to hit a good shot from here. Much softer hands he possesses, but again, seeing that difficulty in that bunker shot, so it looks fairly straightforward, and I think he executed it almost to perfection, but still rolled about 10-12 feet ahead. So it shows you how difficult that shot is, because if you're too aggressive and you get a little greedy, there's a chance that you'll find yourself in the bunker and won't be able to extricate yourself from that. So you have to sort of take your medicine.
Another interesting fact is Thangaraja finished runner-up here in 2022 at the same event, and which Manu Gandas won. So we've got history repeating itself, and that's interesting because these things tend to happen in sport. We have Mr. V. Krishnaswamy with us again. What do you have to say, sir, about this?
Well, I'll say it's going to be an extremely interesting tussle there. Manu's been bogey-free today. I mean, a bogey-free on a moving day at 6 under through 17 is actually quite creditable. And now he's got an eagle putt, I believe. So that would be something. If he gets that, he joins Thanga right on top.
That will also be the 11th eagle today, which is mind-blowing, as against 18 double bogeys.
Shaurya, this is young man has actually, kind of worked on his physical fitness a lot, and he's got huge amount of potential. Came through a stellar amateur career and now doing extremely well on the PGTI. Nice stance there. Just veers off right at the mouth. I think he had the line, just kind of died away towards the end. So end of the third round for Shaurya.
Meanwhile, Manu Gandas is crouched reading that line as his partner essays his putt. Manu is focusing on that line, and well, an eagle will be most welcome.
An eagle is always welcome. The eagle has landed. I mean, my contribution to some smart sentences today. The eagle has landed after Shaurya and Ashwin have set the bar very high today.
You are the master of words, sir. You're the Don Bradman of words. There is no question of even coming close to you, let alone crossing any benchmark.
Today, Bradman has been bowled for 0.
But his average is still above 100.
Back to golf, okay? You might have a cricketer as the president of the PGTI, but this is golf. And he's very good at that. There it is, Manu Gandas. Just past it.
Missed it to the right.
He actually did go for it. I mean, he really did have a good shy at that. Never up, never in. Never leave it short. So last few putts on the third day. Thangaraja is already in the clubhouse at 18 under. Manu Gandas has a chance to get to 17. And Akshay could get to 15. And that would be pretty okay. I mean, considering that he dropped a lot of shots in the middle. 2 bogeys and a double bogey on the 10th. Bogeys on 5th and 9th and a double bogey on 10th.
Important to keep yourself hydrated in Chennai. That's what he's doing. Nutrition, hydration, fitness, name it. These golfers are at the top of their game when it comes to these elements that comprise very, very vital aspects of success in sport, contribute very greatly to success in sport.
I think it's been extremely creditable of Akshay for Akshay the way he's hung in there. I mean, despite things not going his way, I think that really is a sign of maturity. Unfortunately, this putt doesn't go his way. But having lost all those shots, he's still managed to pick a decent number of birdies. And the back nine has actually, after that double bogey on the 10th, he did well to pick up birdies on the 13th and the 17th.
Marking his ball to clear the path for Manu Gandas's putt. Final putt of the day, most likely.
Final putt for him, I think. Akshay still has one.
Final putt of Manu Gandas is what I meant. For Manu Gandas. So this is his birdie putt, if I'm not mistaken. That'll lynch him to 1 stroke behind the leader. These aren't easy putts, mind you. But he drains it.
No mistake there. Birdie, look at that birdie right at the bottom corner. Yes, well done, editors. Well done, camera team. Well done, editing team. Nice little animation out there at the bottom right-hand corner to welcome the birdie. Akshay, par putt, needs it to ensure that he is still in touch, and he does that. So rolls it in. End of the round 3. Akshay, after a lot of concerns, finally finishes the day at 1 under. Still not out of it at 14 under. He's 4 behind the new leader, Thangaraja, who shot a sensational round today. 9 under. 9 under. That is some score. So he had 8 birdies and an eagle against 1 solitary bogey on the par 4 6th hole. Fantastic effort by Sri Lankan Thangaraja, who already has 1 win and a second place. No, second place was in Chennai a couple of years ago. This year also has been very, very good for Thanga.
That's the final leaderboard after round 3. We have Tangaraja leading at 18 under. Manugandas 1 stroke behind at 17 under. Shaurya Bhattacharya third at 15 under. He's making a late charge. Hanibai Soya and Akshay Sharma tied fourth at 14 under rupees. And we've got 4 golfers: Jairaj Singh Sandhu, Amardeep Malik, Arjun Prasad, and Mari Muttu tied at 10 under at 6th position. Finally, we have Subhash Tamang, who had 2 eagles today and a double bogey to show for his effort, sitting at sole 10th place at 9 under.
So, and another absorbing day of golf at the Chennai Open 2025. Manu Gandhas, a bogey-free 7 under, gives him a shot at this title, which he won in 2022 in Chennai. 1 shot behind Thangaraja, who had an absolutely brilliant 9 under for the day. Shaurya finished birdie at the end to stay in touch with the top 2. He's at 15 under. Hani Basoya dropped a shot right at the end, but still shot 8 under, which really was phenomenal. He had a 5 under 32 on the front line. I'm sorry, he shot a 6 under. He had 2 birdies and a bogey on the back line. So 6 under, third day for Hani. And Akshay did well to hang in there despite a lot of hiccups.
Look at the highlights of the day. It's been a low-scoring day indeed. A lot of birdies, a lot of eagles. And we saw a young man with resolve, Anant Singh Alawat. Mr. Swami, what's your take of the day as we look back at the high points of the day?
Well, I think the high point of the day was that the top 2, Thangaraja and Manu Gandhas, who fought for this same title in 2022, where Manu emerged a winner. I think they again have carried on that rivalry here also. This time, of course, Thanga is leading by 1, and Manu looks extremely solid right now. I think he's ready to make a bid back here this season after the fantastic 2022, where he won a bunch of titles in the second half of the season. Apparently, very clearly, the second half of the season suits him.
They were the most clear proponents of the saying horses for courses. They definitely like this grazing ground, and they're doing well, the 2 of them. Let's see who emerges champion this time around. There you see Manu's unmistakable swing. Really does give a lash at it. And here, the anti-left swing. Nice fade each and every time. By Akshay Sharma. Of course, that one time it didn't quite work according to plan. Hole number 10. That's such as a game of golf. Rohan Dhole Patil. Manu with that nifty bunker shot after his ball was plugged in the sand. And the prodigious Mari Muthu R steamrolls golf courses right off the tee. And that one missed by a whisker. Arjun Prasad, the player from Greater Noida. Also stepping on the gas there. And the very efficient Jamal Hussain. And Thangaraja also rolling that in. Jamal. Another good putt right there. highlights are coming at you thick and fast, just like the action on the professional golf tour of India.
Like birdies and eagles, you know. I mean, there were birdies and eagles flying all over the place. And here's Manu. It's a sign that Manu is back here, is back in form and ready to take charge and hopefully pick up a few titles, at least a title or two in the second half of the season. The second half of the season always suits him, it seems.
That's maybe when the juices get flowing, you know, first half, let normally work on their game a little bit and prepare for the business end of things.
There's Arjun Prasad, the man who's given consistency a different meaning. He's been so consistent this season. I think the last 9 or 10 odd tournaments, I think it's just been once when he finished outside top 10. Otherwise, he's just been fabulous. There's Akshay shaking hands, end of a hard day's work. And that's it. Thank you very much for being with us.